Now we're live. All of this is going up on YouTube. So.
Awesome.
Even the sports stuff.
Keep it tuned
We're at 30 seconds now, guys.
Voice of Las Vegas, AM 1400 KSHB, North Las Vegas.
Alright, I'm gonna run a 30-second spot. It might cut into the next
That's fine.
hour.
Yeah, those are tickets, yeah, for the next one, or anyone.
Just any time.
Did you guys get a budget?
Yeah, t-shirts and we need to get t-shirts. Curtain call t-shirts.
They're free tickets, Glenn.
I'd wear them all the time.
Cafe Press? Yeah.
I'll
design
Boulevard Mall.
That'd be awesome.
Because you're designing the crazy t-shirts.
Yeah, you guys are about ready?
So, there we are. Hi guys.
It's a good, it's a women's shirt, actually.
Okay, here we go.
It's radio, no one's paying attention to what I'm physically.
Wait a second, I can't find my script here. I don't know what to say for the intro.
Just make it up.
I'm gonna have to just go off the cuff here. It's Curtain Call with Eric Ball.
That's improv, wow.
Well, welcome to Curtain Call. Here with me, as always, is Glenn Heath. Our other co-host, Miss Carrie Ann Parks, is not going to be joining us today because she is sick.
I think she just didn't want to have her body painted.
I'm pretty...
For guessing one correct Tony out of, what, 400?
Yeah, if you recall correctly, 2 weeks ago when we actually were talking about the Tony Awards and who we thought was going to win, and we kind of put it up on our website, our picks, about who is going to take home the coveted theater prize of the year, and we kind of made this really vague promise that whoever had the least amount would be body painted, and
your dog did better than she did.
You know, seriously, it's funny because I threw the papers on the floor and I said it'd be kind of funny if the dog picked.
And how you know, cleanly as possible so the FCC doesn't come down. How did your dog make the pick?
Well, I have to attribute it a little bit to my wife because she was my eyes, because I kind of spread them out and then I just let the dog walk around.
Oh, it wasn't like the dog left anything, you know, to...
No,
because I was going to say, that must be a very small dog that, you know, you couldn't actually...
Or a very
see.
big list, like bold print, because it would like pick 4 names at once.
Right.
I mean...
Could have just, you know, crapped all over Spider-Man and turned off the dark and it would have been just fine.
Well, it would have been appropriate, too, if you ask me. Now, so anyways, we had our intern Cassie wound up with like 13 correct answers.
And she's not here today either.
No, and that's another thing. It's funny. Intern Kelly was supposed to be here. She's sick. I don't know if it's going around. I don't know if it's in the water. And then Cassie called me and said, you know, I'm not going to be able to make it. I made other plans because I thought Kelly was going to be. And I was like, it's okay. We'll run without an intern today. We'll be fine. And I said, but you better listen to this radio show because you won. And she goes, do I get a prize? And I said, what do you want? And she goes, just all the credit. And I was just like, so there you go. So, and a raise. Something about money.
Oh, wow. So that's twice as much as interns don't make anything.
Yeah. So I think we can accommodate her there too.
Okay.
So congratulations, Cassie. And Carrie Ann, you got to come back sometime. That's all I got to say. And when you do, our paintbrushes and our paint will be ready. I brought them.
I was going to finger paint, but I don't know if Carrie Ann would have appreciated that.
No, I was hoping to do like a Jackson Pollock thing and have her just like roll around on the ground and splash it on her.
I was thinking Picasso, but Jackson Pollock is pretty cool too. Either that or, you know, a little Andy Warhol.
Oh, yeah.
But can you paint with tomato soup, or is it just that you paint?
No, you paint tomato soup.
Okay.
It's not this interesting. I mean, I thought he was kind of bold and out there. Anyways, so today in the studio we have with us two very... you know, these 2 groups are really making a name for themselves here in Las Vegas. 2 improv groups. The first one that we're going to see in the first hour is Happy Hour Jam Session. And then in the second hour we're going to be visited by members of SET Improv.
Improv-Vegas.
Yeah.
So tonight is an all-improv show.
Yeah.
So we're going to be making things up all night.
That's right. We should... Oh, good Lord. Also, kind of interesting about today... aside from it being Father's Day, which, by the way, Happy Father's Day.
Hello, Olivia. I know you're listening tonight because you said you were going to.
And Happy Father's Day to Gary, my father, who is not listening in Michigan.
My dad's in Michigan too, but he's up fishing. So
I don't know.
He lives in Michigan, but he's up fishing. You know,
My dad's in Detroit, so he's not fishing.
Is he's doing okay in Detroit?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
Anyways, positive energy to Michigan.
Yes.
That's what it is. So aside from that, we're also videotaping this particular episode as kind of a trial to see if it's going to work. I thought it'd be a great particular episode to tape because we're gonna be playing some improv games later, and we're gonna
and these guys don't realize that they were playing the air instruments during your intro,
and
that's all been
seen.
videotaped. So apparently
it looked like the Return of the Jedi band.
The Max Rebo.
Max Rebo band. I couldn't call it. I knew you would know it.
The Cantina band. I can't remember their name.
Yeah.
I know they have a Sice Noodles and the Max Rebo band.
You get 50 dork points tonight. Excellent.
50 points for Dork and Dork.
Dork and Dork. I love it. But we're going to have, right now in the studio with us is Anthony Barnaby and Mark Valentin, and very excited to have you guys here. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks for having
Get
us.
right up in that mic. Get up in that mic.
Yeah, you have to do
business.
this.
Is this good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
become
Can you hear us,
very
Vegas?
friendly.
You may need to get a little closer.
A little closer?
No, to each other.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Does that work?
it's not that kind of show.
I'm thrilled to see both of you here because I've seen you both come up through the improv ranks here in Vegas, and it's really good to see where you guys are, especially with Happy Hour, making a lot of strides now with the Happy Hour Jam session over at Theater 7. Eric's probably just wondering, he's like, oh, you picked improv people so that you could talk all night long.
I love improv. You
But
don't understand.
I think improv gets the short end of the straw when it comes to the world of theater.
I agree entirely, and I would argue that it's a critical part of the creative process.
I would hope so because you're a drama teacher. But a lot of people will come to me and say, "Oh, you do improv." Say something funny. And it doesn't,
Show us.
it doesn't quite work that way. And improv, for the side of theater, as which you can attest, Eric, is a critical tool for a stage performance, especially something that's scripted. But what Mark and Anthony do is completely different. And I'll let you guys explain a little bit, so I don't talk the whole time.
Yeah, well, let's ask, if I may, tell us a little bit about Happy Hour Jam session first, and then let's talk about why you do what you do. I mean, why is it so bloody important too?
Because I know you don't make much money at it.
What is money?
There's money in it.
Money is that thing that you exchange for goods and services.
I've never used services.
Good services or just
Well,
goods
you could use
and
goats.
Never mind.
Barter.
It's really hard to fit a cow in the quarter slot on a soda machine, so
It is.
just kind of do what we do.
Some more services then.
More services.
So
definitely.
what is your service? What
All
is
right.
it you do?
Oh, Glenn, master of segues. So what the Happy Hour Jam session is it is a show that is essentially an open, you can think of it as an open mic improv show. We do a bunch of short form improv games. If you guys are familiar with Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's
Nice.
a short form improv game.
Heard of it.
Maybe. It's kind of popular. But what we do is we'll say, okay, we're going to do this improv game. And whoever shows up to the show, they are the cast.
The audience
wow.
is the cast.
The audience is the cast.
Fantastic.
There's no cast to the show. Happy Hour itself is not the cast of the show. So we're just there to
You don't-
facilitate.
But you do have a set of players that come out every time and
There's a core group of
facilitate.
players, like the Happy Hour Improv Troupe is a core group.
Happy Hour, yeah. Yes, we do every now and again come to our own show. And
Which is good.
no, we do have a lot of regulars that show up, and it's people from all over the improv community here in Vegas. And a lot of them come from a whole bunch of different backgrounds. We have people who are all the way from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We have people that came from New York.
Wow.
Just a whole mess of people. But we also have a lot of people who have never done improv before. And that's really who the show is made for. It's designed so that anybody who has ever wanted just an opportunity to get on stage and just say, "Oh, Colin Mockery's pretty funny. Maybe I can do that stuff too."
Oh, way to pick a name right out.
You like that?
Wayne Brady or Drew Carey.
Ryan
or
Stiles.
Ryan
You know what?
Stiles.
Colin Mockery is
Colin Mockery
underappreciated.
is great.
All right, fine. Okay. I really like Matt Besser. How does that work? Is that good?
Yeah,
for
you stumped me on that one.
That's good.
All right.
Chad Kunkel.
Chad Carter.
Margaret Thatcher.
How many names can we drop in a minute? First grade, go.
James Earl Jones.
Matt Donnelly will be here in about an
As
hour.
will Paul Mattingly, I hope.
Paul Mattingly.
And we'll toast to them later on. But how comfortable is it being a newbie, getting up on stage? Because I can recall a couple of years ago, Anthony, you stepping into a different jam of sorts.
Really?
Yes.
There's a story here. I want to hear the story.
No.
There's a story here.
I will take some credit for some things, but I have a friend here in town who's been in improv 17 years. His name is Michael Hartnett. If he's listening, hey Mike, how are you? He used to host an improv show in Pittsburgh that is now in its 23rd year. It's the Friday Night Improvs in Pittsburgh, and that's where I got my start about 16 years ago. And along with a friend of mine here in town who got us set up at the Stage Door Theater when it was still down in Town Square, Denda and I started the All-You-Can-Improv Jam. And I hosted that for a couple of years. And
Denda Brink, I know Denda.
Yeah. And we ended up moving across town over into Commercial Center. And then that space kind of disappeared. And Anthony...
As spaces often do in Vegas. Jeez,
Indeed.
But Anthony took the reins.
Happy Hour did.
Happy Hour.
I don't...
No,
no, because the rest of Happy Hour is listening, I'm sure, and they're going to be like, oh,
well,
here's credit for our whole show.
No. I say Anthony took the reins because I do a lot of theater, musical theater, and regular theater in town, and I was gone for a long time, doing shows after shows after shows, and Anthony learned to host, because he had that interest, had that passion, had that skill set to host in my absence. And when the theater closed, and I didn't do anything, I had other ventures that I was working on, and I'm thrilled that it's come back in a different way. And that's what's great about improv is that it's never the same twice. And so what you do is different than what I did, which is different than what Michael Hartnett did, which is different than anyone else doing it.
Well, and this is, it's really kind of a significant thing for me personally, because the All-You-Can-Improv Jam is how I got my start. I had never done improv prior to that, and it was because of that show that Happy Hour picked me up.
What brought you to that? What was the first initial appeal? So the last time I did theater, anything theatrical, was high school. And then I went to college and studied visual effects, and that left me no time to do anything theatrical, no time to even see shows, let alone be in one. So while Welcome
I was
to college, kids.
Exactly. Yeah. If you go to college, don't expect to have fun.
And get used to eating ramen.
I don't know about that statement.
We will disagree on that.
Yeah,
I had plenty of fun things in
I had
college.
plenty of fun in college.
But no, so I was nearing my graduation, and my career advisor said, "Okay, there's this website called Meetup. Go to Meetup and just type in visual effects artists, and you'll find a whole community of people and everything." So I did that, and it was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, what else are you interested in? So I'm like, well, theater, sort of.
So you went on Craigslist.
Right. And all the shows...
That's.com.
All the
and you'll be amazed.
All the shows wanted roses for some reason. I don't...
To meet in a hotel room on the north side.
Having friends is expensive, $150 an hour.
Wow.
Oh, God.
College is fun.
But going through that process, it was like, oh, here's a thing you might be interested in. It's called Sin City Improv, and it's a whole bunch of improv people in Las Vegas. And I didn't even know there was an improv scene. So it was like, what's their next show? Oh, the Improv Jam. Anybody can play? I'm in.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. So like 3 months into that, it was like, hey, you want to be in Happy Hour? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And Happy Hour for our listening audience is a group of 5 or 6 of you at this point?
It's 5. One of our members, Melanie, she moved on to New York.
Oh, did she?
Yes, she moved to New York to take classes and to follow her dream to write. I think write for SNL. I think is what she's planning into doing. She's
So if
taking
you work for SNL and you happen to be listening to an AM station in Las Vegas.
Well, Jason Sudeikis, who is a current cast member of SNL, he was here in Las Vegas with Second City.
Lorne Michaels loves AM radio in Vegas between 6 and 7 p.m. on Sunday
Absolutely.
nights.
I hope
It's
so.
a good thing we go till 8 as well.
Yeah.
He can love it twice
If
as
he
much.
really likes it, he'll listen to it.
His bedtime's about 7.
Well, yeah. I totally
you guys
lost
are
the
just
question.
tuning in right now. We're talking to Anthony Barnaby and Mark Valentin with Happy Hour Jam Session.